as life conditions, like polarization, decay, populism, all these different disruptive forces, of course, those could spell the end of Western civilization. It's certainly always a possibility, but they also can be seen in a more positive light. As the problematic pressure increases, this creates more push for the potential for emergence, right? So how are we going to, put it in simple terms, how are we going to solve political polarization? We're going to grow out of it, right? We're not going to be able to meet in the middle. That these values are too dialectically opposed to each other for that to happen, at least at this time in history. So what does that growth look like? It means drawing the circle of inclusion similar, but also some of the more fine points it's worth mentioning in this worldview, in the new truth. So once you can see these worldviews, you can see there's a natural tendency for the previous worldviews to pull back. And so progressive postmodernism in that culture, at least in some quarters of that culture, they've been talking about the new paradigm for 50 years now, and the new Great Awakening. So there's a lot of aspirations for cultural emergence that are well-meaning and certainly inspirational as far as you can take it, but they're ultimately grounded within progressive postmodernism because they commit the fallacy of thinking that we can just transcend without including, that we can just wipe away the past, and we don't need to deal with that. And so the magical thinking and the wishful thinking and the idea that we can just admonish people to the new paradigm without working with them to help develop into it, that's part of the progressive postmodern fantasy that contributes to its political and social impotency. And so as we get excited about this next emergence, it's important to do the philosophical work of discerning this dialectical difference between progressive postmodernism and full-blown post-postmodernism, which can see the pathologies and shortcomings of progressive postmodernism in ways that people who are embedded in that culture can't, right? It's only once you get outside of it that you can begin to appreciate not just its bad parts, but also its good parts more thoroughly from the higher ground.